Alright man, the new update is coming, and with the new update comes some new things. So let's go ahead and jump to it. So first up, as always, we're going to start off with the new character. So I don't know if it's pronounced Nico or Nico. If it's pronounced Nico, that's pretty weird because we already have a character with that name. It's just spelled differently. So they revealed his abilities to us. So first ability is Hop Step. We already know what this does already because of Julian having this, and it's a very useful ability. More on that once we get further down this list. Next ability is Pull Up Fade Away. I'm not sure if they mean the regular pull up or if this will be a situation similar to the jump stop shot where some characters have a regular jump stop shot like Hoy and David and Butterball. Then you have other ones with the fadeaway style animation like Rika and Amanda. So not completely sure. It might be a fadeaway, and if it is, sounds broken. Third ability is Fake Shot Pass Technique. It's safe to assume that this is Shot Pass, but once again, there are no guarantees because there were times where it seemed like an ability was something that was already in the game, but it turned out to be something completely different, like Edward, for example. We thought he just had a regular dunk pass, but it ended up being a smart dunking pass. So I'm not sure if this is something that'll allow him to pass the ball during a fadeaway or pass the ball during a pull-up. So we have no idea. All we know is he's going to have some type of shot pass inside of his kit. And the last ability we're looking at is his level 4, which is Fancy Stepping Back. Anyone that has used or played against the Takumi knows what the level 4 to this does already. So if you do a regular dribble move into a step back, you'll still be able to dribble after, unlike the shooting guards who have a regular step back, because they cannot dribble after they do a dribble move into a step back. So that's it when it comes down to Nico. We have no idea what he looks like. All we have an idea of is his abilities. We don't know his stats. We don't know what his mid-range shot's going to be. We don't know what his three-point shot's going to be. But in a few days, pretty sure we'll have all of that information. So moving on to new content. So max gear level is increased to 7. And the main stats max amount increased from 7 to 9. And the sub-stats max amount increased from 3 to 5. Cost of the upgrades are still unknown though. I'm pretty sure we're going to end up needing upgrade cards to get that to level 6 and level 7, considering the fact that we need it to get it to level 5. Next thing that's new is that skin dyes can now give affix, which buffs specific abilities instead of stats. So on this image on the screen right now, you can see that the affix specify abilities, and you can also notice that since this is for dyes and you can only dye with rubies, this is pretty much pay to win in comparison to the regular affix system that we were getting on the gear, because you could trade resources to get your hands on star coins, but you cannot trade resources to get your hands on skin dyes. So make sure y'all keep that in mind, man. Every single time that they bring out a skin dye event, make sure you go ahead and knock that event out, because you will need those dyes because they will be giving you boosts to your abilities. So moving on to the balance changes, we got a few general changes, and then we have a few character specific changes. So first up, for the general changes, the small forward shot height has been increased. So characters like Vanessa, characters like Robbie, and then you consider the shorter characters like shooting guards and point guards, they're all gonna have a tougher time blocking small forwards moving forward. So make sure y'all keep that in mind. They're gonna have to jump a little bit earlier than they used to. And we also have a point guard nerf. So after a block, the ball can only be collected after it touches the ground. So no more diving directly on top of blocks. As soon as it gets blocked, you cannot dive on top of that before it touches the ground. And that's gonna make a world of a difference, because if you're using someone like a Yui, you had an enormous advantage over other characters. If you were using someone like Ayumi, you had an enormous disadvantage against other characters. But now that it cannot be picked up until it actually touches the ground, you cannot just dive directly on top of those blocks. And I'm scared of what this is gonna do for me, because I play point guard and we just got nerfed hard with this one, man. So moving on to the character buffs, Ranger's block rating was changed from A+ to S. This is in reference to his assist stats, not his actual stats. So moving on to Jackie, his fadeaway 3 has increased hit rate for levels 1 through 3. So for a bit of reference, as of right now, the level 2 gives 2% disturbance resistance and the level 3 gives 2% extra accuracy. Now I'm not sure if they're gonna add extra accuracy to level 1 and change the disturbance resistance on level 2 to extra accuracy, and then increase the extra accuracy you receive at level 3. No idea. All we know is his fadeaway 3 is going to be more accurate once this next update drops. So if you manage to get your hands on the sniper affix at level 3, then you're going to be in really good hands with this character, because it's going to be more difficult to block and he's going to have increased hit rate as well. And you got the wide open wide open long shot affix is going to be even more broken. Jackie looking like a really good option right now for playing with inside scores, so he can make sure he draws that extra help on the screens. Moving on to Boa, it's not really much that happened to her. Her fadeaway mid shot base hit rate was increased, so if you were afraid to do your fadeaways with Boa before, don't be afraid now. Just make sure you keep in mind that fadeaway has 7% disturbance resistance, and if you got her to the ace tier, her ace affix also gives her 5% disturbance resistance for a total of 12%. So Boa's looking really good, and then you pair that with the fact that most point guards have low block heights. It's going to be a really good ability on someone like Boa if they're not guarding her close. So moving on to Black Crow, his turnaround jump shot was buffed for a second time, and it's the exact same buffs that he received the first time. I feel like they wanted this ability to be a certain way, but the more that I see it being played, I can see that it's not turning out the way that they expected it to. Some people, they're just too slow to mark him, and then there are others who are just way too fast, and he cannot get that wide open opportunity. So moving on to Rika, her jump stop shot, shot height, and speed were both increased, so you're going to have to guard her a little bit closer than you were before, and you're also going to need much better reaction time than you did before as well, considering the fact that it's firing off faster, so you have to react quickly, and it's also going to be firing off higher, so you have to react quickly. Really solid bust for Rika. I was already seeing her all over the place because she's one of the best two-way players in the game, but now going to be even better on the offensive side of the ball. So moving on to ability buffs, we only have one, and the hop step bonus is no longer restricted to mid-range. So if you look at the image on the screen, you can see that levels 2 through 4 specify mid-range, but moving forward, once this next update comes out, this will also count outside the three-point line. Does that make a difference? Yes, that makes a world of a difference, because my only complaint about hop step in the past when it was first released was that it only gave extra accuracy inside the mid-range area. But now that you get that extra accuracy outside the three-point line, you get that extra disturbance resistance outside the three-point line. It is going to make a world of a difference, just like it did with the flash dribble. At first, you only got 8% extra accuracy inside the mid-range area, but now it works for the mid-range area as well as the three-point line. So we're going to see how this turns out. I'm not sure how this will affect someone like Julian, but the fact that we're able to put more speed on our slower characters these days, I'm pretty sure this will push him more and more towards the meta. So moving on to the new level 4s, we got Sarah's quick key shot, and she's just getting 7% extra accuracy and 7% disturbance resistance. I'm not sure how much this will help. I don't see Sarah players using this very frequently because honestly, centers have really good block height, so they don't have to react to this as quickly as you may think they would. Moving on to Big O, so he got level 4 double pump dunk, and it just does the exact same thing as lightning. I think it gives you 10% extra accuracy after you succeed on the dunk, and the dunk itself gets an additional 5% extra accuracy as well. So if you use 2 of these back to back and you succeeded on the previous one, you're looking at 15% extra hit rate on the dunk. Does it make a difference? Yes, makes a world of a difference because the psychology is going to be much better now than it was before. So last thing on our list is bug fixes. So Andrew no longer gets stuck when receiving a pass during the quick pick and roll. So if you were having that issue, and I was definitely seeing that issue happening quite frequently, don't worry, man. They're fixing it, and tomorrow you will never have to deal with that nonsense again. And the last bug fix that wasn't an other known issue is that they fixed Greta's double pump looking like a sprint dunk double pump. I never seen that. It's probably because I never see Greta using double pumps on the inside because she's an outside scorer. So all right, man. This is the update. Pretty interesting changes. The new character also seems like a very interesting character. When I seen the fancy stepping back, I just knew he had to have something else inside of his kit that was dribble related. And it just so happened to be the hop step, the pull up fadeaway. I'm hoping it's just a regular pull up because the fadeaway variation of the pull up sounds completely broken. And once again, I'm not sure if that's an actual shot pass like Justin, actual shot pass like Greta, Nana, and Nico. Not completely sure, but we'll see when it comes. The gear changes, I'm not really sure how to feel about the increase to gear levels because you're gonna get extra stats, but with the introduction of affixes, with the introduction of the ace tier, the question becomes, do we actually need those extra stats? We won't know until we get there because my characters that I got to ace tier, the characters that I put affixes on, the characters that I put talents on, they're already broken. My Havoc G is broken. My May is broken. My Justin is broken. And now they're going to be even more broken. So I'm probably just going to put these stats into the parts where they have weaknesses. Like my May's speed is kind of low because I had to put so much power on her. So now I can put more speed. The skin dyes given affix is going to make a world of a difference because they're going to give you buffs to specific abilities. And I want to see what happens if I end up getting like an affix that increases my enhanced handling. We're not sure what it's going to add. We're not sure if it's going to be like on the image it shows explosive block and shot block and pass. We're not sure if it's going to increase probability or if it's going to increase other stats. Like for explosive block, will it give him more strength or will it give him more opportunities to proc that? We don't know, but we'll see when we get there. The increase the small forward shot height, like the change. It was kind of weird that short characters were blocking them so frequently. And the point guard dive nerf, I don't like it. I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. I don't like this point guard dive nerf. It's just not something that seems fair in my opinion because it feels like we're being penalized for being good at the game. It seems like we're being penalized for practicing this for so long, and now it's being taken away from us. So, all right, man. Outside of those things right there, the hop step buff stands out the absolute most because it's no longer restricted to the mid-range area. You don't have to prioritize scoring inside the mid-range area off of a hop step now. So, all right, man. We're going to wrap this up. Drop inside the comments how y'all feel about this update. That's it. And I'll catch you on the next one.